believe that even the rock is alive, being part of the planet. The planet itself is alive, but even the rocks that does not have flesh and blood, rocks and gravel, mountains, they don't breathe. But the Native American people consider rocks and all these other things alive. And if you look at your body, since we do come from this earth, your fingernails are not alive. Your fingernails are dead cells connected to the living. It is part of life. So although the rock is not alive, it is connected to life. This is the only spirituality that's real. All this other fantasy stuff, and see, it's easily described, and it's easily, anybody can experience being spiritual, having a spiritual connection to another life. But when you talk about, I'm spiritually connected to God and to the aliens on Mars and all this other stuff that y'all come up with, it's very difficult for you to explain, because it's difficult to explain what is not real. It's difficult to explain the unexplainable, because that don't exist in our reality, what you're talking about. It only exists in Superman, Batman comic books. So, I am the divine masculine. This is the reality's temple on earth. If you're not spiritual, if you're not religious, why do you use these words divine and temple? So when you go to a restaurant and you get a pretty good meal and you say that meal was divine, does that mean you're spiritual or religious? There are many different definitions for the word divine. It can be used in different ways. I use the word because a group of black women who found some kind of love for me gave me the title divine masculine, which simply means a man, a male, who uplifts the female. No more, no less. That's the simple definition. And I accepted that title, divine masculine. The reality's temple. You're not religious and spiritual. You use a temple. What is this here? Your temple, which is part of on your head, is part of the brain, or connected to the brain, where the brain is located. They shoot you in the temple, chances are they're going to shot out your brain. Is that spiritual and religious? No, it has different definitions. Y'all need to stop that stuff. I'll make it clear. And then another thing. Who gave religious people the copyrights or the patent? You act like you own words. You do not own the word temple. You do not own the words spirituality. You do not own the words divine. You use it in the manner, the fictional fantasy type manner that you do and have for the last 4,000 years or whatever. And I will use it in the manner that I have decided to use it. But it is very clear that on this rostrum, I do not acknowledge spirits. I do not acknowledge God. So you are a disbeliever. No, I cannot disbelieve or believe, because I've never met this God that you're talking about. I never met him, her, or it. I had no interaction with. How can I talk about God when I've never seen this God, had no connection or interaction? So how I can neither believe or disbelieve. So that's not That's not even an issue here. So from there we go to Negro, you a coon. You a Sambo. You a sellout. You an agent. What is so sad? You have all these people who are supposed to be so have the supreme wisdom, higher knowledge. They are connected to the Most High. But yet and still, they repeat the words that was forced on us by racists. Coon is a word that did not come from no dark-skinned people. It's a word that comes from racists. Just like Sambo and a lot of this Mother Elf and all this other stuff that come out of our mouths. We learned it from the slave master and his children. Then we call ourselves that. Just like women have been abused by men for who knows how long. So now you have women who happily call themselves bitches and whores. I'm a bad bitch. Yeah, girl, you know I'm a bad hoe. I'm a divine hoe. This is what happens when people are victimized. They take in and embrace the abuse of the oppressor. But here you are so silly and dumb. You have all this knowledge and you can't even create a word to degrade me of your own. You have to continue to use the words of the degrader, the oppressor, the hater, the racist, Caucasian, pink American people. That's very sad. And that's all that I was saying when I said we need to stop calling Tommy Sotomayor a coon. Just do the work. Stop being so childish. Who cares about what Tommy Sotomayor talks about? Do the work. The problem is you're not involved in the work. You have all this time. Let me talk about Tommy Sotomayor. Who cares about that dude? He's a dark European. He does not claim to be conscious. He's lost in space. Who cares? However, if you get involved in the work, doing the work, and be successful in that work, everything that he talks about and everything he stands for will soon begin to fall and crumble, because your actions make him out a lie. But the reason why he stands so strong is because y'all fake. You're lazy and you're not real. Unlike the little girl that I was talking about in the beginning of the video, you really don't love black folks. You really don't love the people of soul. Many of you have another agenda. You want to get rich off soul people. You want to be a YouTube celebrity or some other nonsense. And the masses know who is real and the masses know who is fake. So you're only going to get a certain amount of folks that's going to support you. But as far as the masses of the people are concerned, you don't mean nothing to them. This is why many people all over this country, no matter how hard Louis Farrakhan tried to bring down the name of Malcolm X and paint that man as some messed up, mentally ill wacko, people all over this nation love Malcolm X because just by watching the old news clips, listen to him talk, how he carried himself, reading his biography, you could tell this was a sincere and real man that cared for us in the best manner that he knew, along with Dr. King and Kwame Ture and so many, Marcus Garvey and so many of our other brothers and sisters. They was not in it for celebrity or the money. They really had concern and wanted to change our condition. Y'all love fake folks. And so, since you love fake folks, then the only thing you're going to get is fake love. You're not going to get the kind of love the little girl gave to a black and ugly man. I'm a coon. Why am I a coon? I'm a coon and a Sambo. Why is that? I have not done nothing. You can't even compare me to somebody like Tommy Sotomayor. There is no comparison. When I was 8 or 9 years old, I grew up in Jim Crow. I grew up in the racist South. I had to pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America. But when I was introduced to the teachings of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, and I began to learn how to love my dark skin and my people, I was the only one in the whole school that refused to pledge allegiance to the flag, all by myself. My mother, my uncles, no adults supported me. And whatever I did, I always did it by myself. So you're looking for an organization, and you're looking for somebody to be friends with. You don't have to do that. Be who you are. Stand on your own. I was a little boy, and I found that the teachings of Elijah Muhammad was true, and I shot down every adult that I had to deal with. I'm a Coon and a Sambo. I advocate separation. I do advocate nation building. I advocate we have the right to self-defense. I don't advocate interracial relationships. What you talking about? Oh, I know. The reason why I'm a Coon and a Sambo is because I reject a lot of this comedic, Hebrew Israelite, Nation of Islam, fantasy fiction stuff that y'all got going on. And when I reject your teachings, I do it in a very civil and respectful manner. And what makes you so angry is that what I bring makes sense, it's logical, it sounds valid. You get angry at me because you should be rejecting fairy tales and fiction just like I do every day. But you want to hold on to fantasy and fiction in hopes that it will change or something. I don't know what you're looking for. We look insane trying to place a round peg in a square hole. We look insane trying to continue to use those things. They might have had a little success in the past. They no longer work. And you still trying to, it don't work. Let it go. Let it go. But we can't. So you will continue to be in the condition that you're in because you can't let it go. Like a no good man that you love. Like a no good woman that you love, but you can't let them go. You hold on to them for dear life. Why? You can do bad by yourself. But you just loyal. I just love that man. He beat you every day. He steals your money. He makes fun of your children. Why are you holding on to this cat? The Black Power Wars. I really don't even want to spend time talking about the Black Power Wars. Black Revolution. It's not entertainment, the Black Power Awards. There's nothing entertaining about it. Award for what? The only award that you should be seeking is finally getting this beast off your back once and for all. That's the award. That's the reward. If that has not been done, then the Black Power Awards is nothing but cosmetic surgery. A fake breast, a fake nose, a fake chin. It's all fake because you have not been freed from the oppressor. Thus, the idea of black power does not exist. It's all fake. Either you're going to be real or you're going to be fake. I choose, let us be real. This is the reality's temple on earth. Black struggle is not about entertainment. Those brothers sniping police officers, there's nothing entertaining about that. The racist cops that's shooting our people down in the street, there's nothing entertaining about that. The black power wars, come on, y'all got to be joking. You don't take nothing serious. And I'm going to tell you why you don't take nothing serious in just a second. Let me move on. Speaking of these Kemetic, Nubian, Hebrew Israelite, all these different teachings that y'all come up with. Where y'all getting this stuff from? You a Hebrew Israelite. What Hebrew Israelite taught you what you teaching? I'm Kemetic. Who from Kemet taught you anything? African spirituality. What Africans are you getting this spirituality from? Where y'all getting this stuff from? It's fabrication, plagiarism, a whole bunch of mixed up stuff that sounds, I guess it sounds cool. You guys are impressed because somebody sounds smart. But when you think about it, really look at it, it's so corny. You might as well read Superman and Batman. Because actually that's all that it is. There's nothing real about it. African spirituality, Africa this, Africa that, but you don't see Africans, nobody from that continent embracing or saying black power. You don't see them talking about it. Only the so-called Negro in America. Why is that? And you're so silly and so delusional and out of your mind, you think that you can teach the Africans African spirituality. You are the one in America. Those people never left the continent. They should know more about African spirituality than you ever would. They live it. The only thing you can do is read about it in a book. And none of them is teaching you nothing. Can you understand how we look so foolish and silly in the eyes of the world? Ghetto names. Let's talk about ghetto names. What's wrong with ghetto names? There's nothing wrong with a ghetto name. So-called ghetto name. A ghetto name is our own natural expression, our own creativity. That's all that it is. I'm expressing who I am. I am not your slave. So many of you don't have a problem with coming up out of the slave name. I'm not Johnson. I'm not McGillicuddy. All these brown, white, pig, whatever. So we coming up out of the racist Caucasian pink people slave name. That's cool. But you have a problem with the so-called ghetto name. See, even though we have been domesticated and made slaves, there is still something in us to be who we are. You can love Africa, but there's something special about you. That's where soul comes from. You're a Negro, you color, you black. These are names that came from the races. Then all of a sudden one day, soul appeared. I'm a soul brother. I'm a soul sister. We make soul music. We dance on Soul Train. So there was an effort by the enemy to stop that progress.